if x equals to 1 over 2 into 1 minus root 2, the question asks is to evaluate 2x squared minus 2x. So let me attempt to answer this question. Solution to this: the x is the same thing as 1 over 2 into 1 minus root 2, and I have an expression which is 2x squared minus 2x, in which I am to find its value. So let me attempt to do that. Copying the expression 2x squared minus x, 2x squared minus 2x. So wherever I have x, I will replace it by 1 over 2 into 1 minus root 2. So let me do that. So I'm going to have, but before substituting, let me factorize. 2x is common, so that I will make it a much simpler one. So 2x is common between these two terms, so 2x out, then you have 2x squared divided by 2x, it will leave you with x, and minus 2x divided by 2x, it will leave you with minus 1. So it is here that I will now replace x by 1 over 2 into 1 minus root 2. So replacing now, or substituting, I'm going to have 2 times x, but x is 1 over 2 into 1 minus root 2, so I'm going to have 2 times, so the whole of this is nothing but x, then times the bracket. Inside the bracket I have x, this is it, 1 over 2 into 1 minus root 2, then minus 1, the last minus 1. So I'll simplify this. This here, 2 times this bracket is nothing but 2 times 1 over 2, so this 2 will cancel, this 2 will be left with 1, and 1 times 1 minus root 2 is now 1 minus root 2, and this 1 over 2 also taken into this bracket, you have 1 over 2 times 1 is 1 over 2, 1 over 2 times minus root 2, it will be minus root 2 over 2, then I'll copy that to minus 1. So we continue. So simplifying this bracket, this very bracket, 1 over 2 minus 1, they are alike if I collect them. 1 over 2 is simply half, half minus 1, it will be minus half, then I'll copy minus root 2 all over 2. I continue. So expanding, 1 times minus 1 over 2 is minus 1 over 2, 1 times minus root 2 over 2 is minus root 2 over 2, then I'll take this minus root 2 times 1 over times minus 1 over 2, it is now going to be positive root 2 over 2, and minus root 2 times minus root 2 all over 2 is going to be 1, but how I get 1? Minus root 2 times minus root 2, it will simply be positive 2 over 2, so 2 over 2 is nothing but 1. So I'll collect like terms, minus half plus 1, it will be half, so I'm going to have half here, but this one is going to be 0, minus root 2 over 2 plus root 2 over 2, minus plus, they are the same, it's just like a minus 2 plus 2, it will change it to 0, so you have in the end 1 over 2, and this 1 over 2 is minus half plus 1. So with this I have answered this very question. So let's see the mark distribution according to the Waec marking scheme. The mark distribution, first mark is M mark, method mark, for substituting correctly where you have x, replacing it by 1 over 2 into 1 minus root 2, you have method mark, and simplifying up to this last end, you have another method mark, and for getting 1 over 2 as your final answer accurately, you have the A1 mark. So in total the question carry 3 marks.